Hello, this is a brief overview of the Philosophy of Education assignment. You'll find a description of the assignment in D2L in the Content section under Module 3, and then under the section for the Educational Philosophy, and it's this first document here. Looking at that document, be sure that you read this carefully and ask any questions if you have any. I just want to point out a few things here. The website that you're going to use to check the length of your philosophy is this one. So let's go there. And here it is. So you're going to write your philosophy of education and check the length. And try to keep it to around 2 minutes at an average rate of speed, and then you can come here and you can copy your philosophy and then paste it into this part of the website. This particular text is 244 words as it shows, and I've got it set on 120 words per minute, which is an average rate, and the length of your speech would be, at this case, just slightly over 2 minutes. So this is a very appropriate length of speech to use for this assignment. If your 2 minutes is at the 80 words per minute level, then that would be speaking fairly slow. You need to take advantage of the length of this and have a little bit more there. If you're at 160 words a minute, and if you're over 2 minutes, then this is speaking fairly fast, and you know you've got too many words in there. So you can use this to sort of play around until you get your wording at the right amount for a 2-minute speech. Now, the other thing to consider is what goes into your philosophy of education, because it is going to be fairly short. You should keep in mind that you're writing in the first person, but don't use contractions. And you don't have to use I believe, because it's understood that this is you talking, and it's unnecessary to have that wording in there, I believe or I think or anything along those lines. Also avoid saying things like I hope to or I want to. Just keep it straightforward. And the main thing in your philosophy is what it says here: show, don't tell. In other words, don't say that you're going to be an effective teacher, but explain how you're going to be effective. Give a very specific example of what you mean when you say you're going to be an effective teacher. And that's the same with anything you write in your philosophy. Be very specific. Avoid any generalizations. That comes across sort of as not having any meaning when you just say things that are very general without giving specific examples. Now, there's a lot you need to try to get in here. Here's a list of some of the things you need to consider. The first item on here: believing that all children can learn. Let me just summarize this quickly. You need to be very sure that you include things in here along the lines of how you're going to be able to work with diverse students, your diverse learners in your classroom. You need to be clear about how you are capable of handling a classroom, in other words, classroom management. And again, you need to be very specific about this. If you have any examples from your own teaching, student teaching, whatever, you need to state clearly how you've been able to manage a classroom. So be very specific. And then other things that go into this kind of discussion of your philosophy. To get more information about what it means to do this kind of short presentation, as if you're in a job interview and you only have a couple minutes to say something, you can go to this website. You can also check what it means to do an educational philosophy inventory here. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, be sure and contact me. This assignment goes directly into live text, so you're going to be going to live text, and you'll see only one assignment for this course in there, so you're going to put it in that assignment. Okay, that's it. Thank you.